Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I did this look just a little bit ago and I really love the way it turned out. So if you want to see how I achieved this look, please keep on watching. This is absolutely my favorite shirt ever. So I just finished running 9 miles earlier, took a shower, and now I think I just want to play with makeup. So my first step is my First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Priming Moisturizer. Just gonna take that all over my face, my cheeks, my chin, my forehead, a little bit on my nose. I actually even put some on my neck. Next is my Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter in Tan. Just put that on the tops of my cheeks. And then on my forehead, and just a little bit my brows, over my brows. And with my fingers, I'm just gonna tap that into my skin. I'm really trying to achieve a lit from within glow. And the Hollywood Flawless Filter does that for me. This is also great to wear on its own, like on your no makeup days. Next, I'm taking my Maybelline Fit Me powder. Just gonna tap some on the lid. And I'm just gonna take my brush and dust it all over my face. Just a light dusting. I do have a little bit of an oily skin, so this helps my skin, I guess, kind of stay matte. And I really love doing this step. So next I'm taking the LANCôME Skin Feels Good. It's kind of like a skin tint, like a tinted moisturizer, and yeah, it's a brand new bottle, so I kept pumping it and then finally got some. And I'm just taking my Crown foundation brush. I'm actually just gonna spread that all over my face. I think I got a little too much, and so it's gonna like go everywhere, but at the same time this is like really lightweight and it feels a little bit liquidy. And I don't know, I feel like this has a scent and it actually kind of smells good. So I'm just gonna continue to spread that all over my face. And so now with this multi-purpose buffing brush from NYX, I'm just gonna go ahead and stipple that onto my skin and just kind of like buffing it in a little bit. It's actually a lot of product. Not that I didn't realize, of course I knew that I had gotten too much, but this brush, I feel like it doesn't soak it all up. It just does a really good job of distributing it all over my face and my neck. So now I'm going to take my beauty blender, which is already damp, and I'm just gonna go ahead and bounce that foundation into my skin some more. Just making sure I have no like lines from the brush. So then I turn down the lights just so you guys can see what my skin looks like without the lighting. So next I'm taking the Maybelline Fit Me in shade 30. And I'm just kind of doing this to kind of color correct. Today I don't think I have like that many dark circles under my eyes, but I do just kind of want to brighten it up a little bit. Just blending that all over my eyes. Well, not all over, under my eyes. Then next, I'm going to take another Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and this one is in shade 25 medium. And I'm just going to highlight a little bit more underneath my eyes. Nothing too crazy, and I'm just gonna take that beauty blender again, and just pounce that into my skin and push that product into my skin a little bit more. What's good about the beauty blender is it kind of does just soak up a little bit of the product. I'm just continuing to blend because I don't want any like harsh lines or anything. So I'm gonna take that Jordana Sculpt and Glow contour stick in 03 Deep. Just gonna use my fingers to kind of like spread that product out where the hollows of my cheeks are. I'm gonna also use that at the temple. If you guys can kind of like hear in the background, my boys are again playing Call of Duty. So if you hear any sort of yelling or anything like that, that's them. So yep, just continuing to put that product. And I feel like right here, I put on a little bit too much. And also using that a little bit on my jawline. I'm also gonna use a little bit of that kind of like underneath my lip to give it that illusion of being a little full. Now taking my e.l.f. stippling brush, I'm just gonna spread that product around, making sure that there aren't any harsh lines, and just making sure I blend that in. Okay, I'm gonna use that same contour stick and this brush, and I'm just gonna contour my nose a little bit. I just like to contour a little bit on the side, on each side, and then actually just a little bit just between my nostrils, that small little area. Still kind of getting used to this kind of setup, so sorry if I'm looking like not directly at the camera. Next, I'm gonna take my blending brush with a little bit of that concealer. I'm just going to tap over the contour. And then next, I'm going to take the bottom part of my beauty blender that I used earlier for my foundation, and I'm just going to further push in all the products that I've used so far, any creams, any concealers, making sure I have no harsh lines. With the Coty Airspun powder, I'm just gonna go ahead and take my flat brush right here. I'm gonna tap that into the brush and then also tap it into my hand, making sure that all of the powder kind of gets into the bristles, and I'm gonna tap out anything that might have creased, and I'm just going to set it with that Coty Airspun powder. So again, now with the other side of my face, I'm gonna also do that where my forehead is, and then down the middle of my nose, sides of my nose, and then of course I'm going to set a little bit of that on my chin. So I'm just going to turn down my ring light again, just so you guys can see what my skin looks like. It's not a harsh contour. You can actually still see that Hollywood Flawless filter. So today I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Nude Obsessions palette in medium. And I just really love those colors. I'm going to be using the Anastasia primer. And this time on this eye, I didn't use too much. It was perfect. So then, yeah, this happened. Put way too much on my finger for the other eye. So then I had to distribute it to the other one. Hopefully I can get this right one day. So I'm going to let that set, that primer set. I'm going to use my Koki contour powder set palette, and I'm just going to go over the contours of my cheeks, the hollows of my cheeks rather. And look, I put too much at least on that side of my cheek. I'm just gonna go over where I contoured, so over the hollows. And yeah, I put, look at that, way too much. So I'm just going to take that bottom part of my beauty blender and I'm going to kind of try to diffuse that a little bit on both sides, but I feel like mostly on the other side. I don't know why I'm going over this side so much more than the other one. Oof, that's dark. And again, turning down the light, and actually that still kind of looks really dark. That's not so dark over on that side. Okay, so next I'm going to just use the kind of like yellow tone powder to set my primer, making sure that it's dry. And with a fluffy brush, I'm just going to take this Too Faced, I guess, bronzing foundation cocoa powder thing. And I'm going to just use that as kind of like a pre-transition color over my crease. Gives it just a little bit, like a real subtle color on the crease of my eyes. You can hardly really see it. So using that same fluffy brush, I'm gonna take that first color on the top and I'm just going to buff that color in to my crease. And this is such a really pretty color. And so far, this is like really pigmented. I really love that. If you guys just saw that look on my face, I just really am enjoying this palette so far. Now, same thing on the other side. Okay, just adding a little bit more and just kind of building up that color. And yeah, look at that. So pretty. I just love how that turned out. I'm just continuing to blend. And I'm gonna take just a little bit more and then just kind of like deepening that color a little bit more. And then same thing on the other side. And this is just a really good base color for the look that I'm trying to do. So now this is just a clean fluffy brush with no product on it, and I'm just further diffusing the lines. So next, I'm taking this Real Techniques brush. It's smaller than that first fluffy brush that I used. And then I'm going to be taking that third color on the top row, loading up my brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead and deepen up that crease a little bit more. It's kind of trying to make my eyes look a little bit rounder, and kind of like winging it out a little bit too. Same thing on the other side. That's a really pretty color too. Really pigmented, but you can like tell that the two colors are different. I'm really liking that look. And again, that clean brush, clean fluffy brush, I'm just going over everything, making sure it's all blended. So now I'm going to take this Triad eye brush from Royal and Langnickel. Gonna take that third shade in the middle row. It's the darkest shade. And I'm just going to concentrate and pat that on the outer corner of my eye. I'm gonna work it a little bit into the outer part of my crease. Look at this, guys. It's so pigmented. It's really pretty. And I like how these colors just kind of like blend together, but they still kind of look separate from each other. I'm just gonna go ahead and continue to pack that on the outer corner of my eye. I'm continuing to deepen it. So I'm going to take that fluffy brush that I used in the beginning, and I'm just gonna go and use that first color that I laid down, and I'm gonna use it to kind of like smoke out that outer corner. Gonna do that on the other eye. I probably should have dipped into that first color and then kind of like blown it out that way. And as you guys can tell, I'm just really having a lot of fun working with these three colors so far. And then just continuing to deepen it a little bit more, because I kind of really like having that a little bit of a winged out dark outer corner on my eyes. Using my finger to kind of like blend it, and taking that fluffy brush again and just making sure that everything is blended. So next I am going to use my finger and use that third color, the shimmer shade in the bottom row. And I'm just going to use my finger and spread that all over my lid. And it's really subtle, and I love how it's a shimmer shade, but it's pretty subtle. I really like that. So I am really loving this look. I really love that look. So then I'm going to take that TRIAD brush again, and I'm just going to go over the outer corner with that dark shade. I just want to make sure that I blend that outer corner and then the lid color, so that way it kind of looks like a gradient between the two colors, that it's going from dark in the outer corners and then that shimmer corner. And I'm going to use that Real Techniques brush to kind of just blend everything in, because it still has that little bit of color from the second color that we used, or that I used. So then I'm going to take that middle color, middle shimmer color on top, and I'm just gonna try and put that at the center of my eyelid. I love how it just kind of has a subtle brightening effect on top of that color, and it doesn't change that color or anything, it just kind of gives it a bit of a sheen. And when you are looking up, or when you are looking down and the light catches that middle part, it just looks really, really pretty. I'm just making sure I get that color in the middle of my eyelid. Yep, I like it. So now I'm going to do the bottom part of my eyes. I'm going to take that first shade. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go and do the same pattern that I did on my eyelids, except I'm going to do that bottom lash line. Okay, so now using that same brush, I'm going to take that third shade on the top row, and I'm just gonna go ahead and, again, with the same way I did the eyeshadow on my eyelids, I'm going to try and mimic that same thing on the bottom, and then that dark shade will kind of just go halfway through the middle of where I oh, okay, never mind. It looks like I took it all the way into the inner corner as well, but not as dark. Just trying to use a little bit, and I'm just gonna I'm trying to really concentrate that color more on the outer corner than I am towards the inner corner. So then next, I'm going to take the dark black color on the Tati Beauty palette, and I'm just gonna use that to line my eyes. I really didn't want to use like either like a pencil or a liquid liner or a gel liner, because I'm still really trying to perfect a wing liner on myself, and so far I'm not so successful, so I'm probably gonna need to learn to work on that winged liner game of mine. But shadow is great to use if you're not quite sure, and it's just really nice to line your eyes with powder, so that way if you mess up, it's easier to clean than if you went in with like a liquid liner or a gel liner. So you can see I'm kind of trying hard to line my eyes. And now I'm going to use that same dark shadow at the bottom lash line. And nothing too crazy, just a little bit of darkness to just for the bottom of my eyes. And then now I'm going to take this smudger brush, and I'm just going to smudge that black shadow underneath. Blend, blend, blend. Okay, so now I'm gonna use this Urban Decay eye pencil, and I'm just going to tight line underneath my lashes because I don't want there to be like gaps between. So next I'm going to do my eyebrows, just taking out any powder that may have fallen from when I used the Airspun finishing powder, setting powder. Then I take like a damp paper towel and I just kind of clean it up a little bit more. So next I'm taking my KYLIE Cosmetics brow brush. It has like a really nice slanted tip with my Anastasia Deep Brown Dip Brow. I'm just gonna go ahead and fill in the areas in my eyebrows that are a little more sparse. Usually just the tail end of my brow on this side is a little bit tricky. So I kind of take a long time on this brow more than I do my other one. Sorry, it took a little bit long to do that eyebrow. So now on my other eyebrow, this one isn't as difficult for me to fill in. I feel like between my two brows, this is the easier one. Finally, the brows are done. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and put my lashes on. This is also a little bit difficult for me because I don't always usually use false lashes too often. And before I used to have eyelash extensions, but these days I'm swimming more, and when I run I sweat a lot, so my false lash extensions would just fall out, and it would just look weird when you are kind of like at the tail end of your lash extensions and they just kind of look funny. So now no lashes for me, and now I'm kind of like relying on false eyelashes when I do glam makeup. So then now using my Smashbox Full Exposure mascara, I'm just gonna go ahead and push my lashes onto the false eyelashes so that way they kind of look the same. Now I'm gonna use my Guerlain bronzer in brunette, and I'm just gonna go over the areas where I contoured and just kind of like bronzing my face a little bit more. And I know it probably looks kind of stark right now, and I'm gonna turn down the light again so you guys can see what this all looks like at the end. Go over my nose, all over my cheeks. And this has a really nice scent too. So then I'm gonna take my MAC Sheer Tone Blush in Peach Twist. Taking my fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna go over my cheeks. the apples of my cheeks and just smile a little bit and make sure I get that mixed in with my contour and my bronzer. And it has a little bit of shine, so it looks really nice. And then with the Dose of Colors Desi X Katie highlighter in Chasing the Sun, I'm just gonna go ahead and dust that all over the high points of my cheek, the same areas where I put that Hollywood Flawless filter. I'm just gonna go ahead and highlight in that same area. So just there at the high points of my cheeks. I'm gonna do a little bit on my forehead and kind of like above my brow, just where I feel like where the sun would hit my face. And I'm gonna do a little bit on my nose. And what's good about this, it's not too light that it's a beaming light, but when the light does catch it, it looks really, really pretty. Like you're glowing, but not too much. And yeah, I'm loving it. So then I'm using my KKW Nude 2 lip liner. And you guys know how I do this. I've done this so far. I just kind of like contour my lips. And I don't do much to the top, but I go ahead and use my finger to kind of like blend that lip liner into my lips. And today I'm gonna be using my Lorac lipstick, and this color is called Visionary. It's a really pretty nude, and it's a lighter nude than I would normally use, but mixed in with the KKW lip liner, it looks really nice. And I'm actually going to line my lip a little bit again, so that way I get to mix those two colors. Okay, just kind of blending that lip liner in. And then I'm also going to use the Lorac lip gloss that corresponds to Visionary. And this is also called Visionary, and as you can tell, it's a really pretty nude color. It's not too dark and it's not too light. It complements the rest of my face really well, and it's a really pretty nude color. Just fixing that gloss, making sure that it's not too much. Okay, I think I'm done. Fluffing my hair. Okay. Oh, I think I forgot something. Hang on just 1 second. See, I told you I forgot something. I'm just gonna go ahead and spray my face with, it's not really setting powder, it's more like a toner, but this just kind of like melts everything together. And I'm gonna take my beauty blender and then just kind of like go over any areas that look really wet, and then making sure that everything kind of blends. And then this is it, guys. This is the final look. Really enjoying it. So I'm gonna turn down the light again, just so you guys can see what this looks like without the lighting. And I'm just really digging this look. Okay, guys, this is the finished look. So, really love the way that highlight is just hitting my face. Like how the contour turned out, and I really love the eyeshadow look. I don't do this very often like this, and this is the first time that I'm using the Huda Beauty Nude Medium palette. I think it's called Medium Nude Obsession. So I'm definitely obsessed. I really love this palette, and I think I'm going to try the Nude Rich Nude Obsessions next. And we will see how that looks, but I really love how all of this turned out today. Just wanted to do my makeup. It's Saturday, I think April 10th or April 11th, I don't know. Anyway, tomorrow is Sunday and it'll be Easter, so I just wanted to hop on, do my makeup, and again, this is the finished look. And thank you so much for tuning in today, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful Easter. Please stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.